So welcome to today's vlog. So we're just going to be staying off grid tonight, and we're going to be staying at a motorhome stopover called the Sun Trevor, which is on the banks of the Llangollen canal. I'm just going to get all the services ready in the van because, as you know, off grid means that you haven't got the facility of toilets or power or water or anything like that. So what I like to try and do is, before I leave on the trip, is fill up the water and check all the other supplies as well. So in regards to the water, what we'll tend to do is give it a good fill up, and I've got this in my services drawer in the van. We've got this great little adapter which just fits where our water would go. I highly recommend getting one of these adapters. They're around about, they're only a couple of quid on Amazon, so I'll put a little link in the description exactly where you can get hold of them. But it's really straightforward. When we put the water in, we're actually getting our pipe directly straight into there. It's already turned on, and that's filling that up now. So as that's filling up, we're just going to check the gas, and we're going to make sure that we've got enough LPG. It's only for one night that we're staying, but we're going to make sure that we've got some LPG because I haven't filled up the LPG for a while. Okay, so our LPG we keep on the passenger side, and what we need to do with this is just check gas is showing, and we've got enough to get us over the night. I'm sure we have, but let's have a little look at that now. So when checking your LPG, you've got a little dial here up at the top. If you give it a little shake, you'll be able to see the needles moving there, and it's on the blue line, so it's green. I've got two bottles. Both of them are actually showing on the green at the moment, so no problems with our LPG. They're in the lock position just while we're driving, so when you're driving we shut those valves off, and then obviously we can open them up when we get to the site. So what I'd also like to check in the van when we get in the main van is we'll just turn on the main display, which is up at the top here. We can see that from this is where we control. This also gives us a display for our leisure battery, our vehicle battery, what we're pulling in on the solar. So at the moment you can see on this, our leisure battery is sitting at 13.1, and then we've got solar's pulling in 0.6 amps, so we know our solar's working, and our vehicle battery is standing at 13.3, so that's fine at the moment. And then within there we can check our water level. So the water's currently filling up at the moment. You can see that the fresh water is at 50% because it's still filling up. I've got nothing on the waste at the moment, so that's fine. But yeah, we'll control everything from here. This will control your pump for your water. It'll control your lighting outside, your main lighting inside as well. I've also got your heating here as well, so we can switch between the electric, which is obviously hookup. So if you've got a hookup, you'll tend to use the electrical power there, or in my case, because I'm going to be going off grid on this particular one, we're going to be using the gas. So we'll turn that on when we need to, but we're going to be using the gas. Okay, so I can see that we're full now on the water, so we'll take that out, and then we'll just return that back into the little shelf, which is just underneath on the driver's side. Really handy, that it's a nice little storage unit there. And then we'll replace the cap. So I always like to give the van someone over when I've not been in it for a while, so I'll always check. It's just go around the whole of the van, just make sure that everything's fine before we do go on the journey. So I've checked the LPG, obviously filled up the water, and what I'll just generally do is just go around and check the likes of the tyres and make sure that everything's looking fine with the tyres. You know, there's enough pressure. Again, I'll just I've got a little meter that I'll put on them just to check that they're okay, but they visually look fine, and generally just go around the whole of the van making sure that everything's quite secure, and anything that's locked should be locked. Any of the cupboards are locked as well. So again, it's just pre-checks before you go on your journey. It's just important. A few other things that I'll tend to check is just making sure that the aerial is away, which is in the cupboard here. So in my van, the aerial is just here, which is located just here. So again, just making sure that the aerial's down, it's locked in position, and it's not going to move anywhere when we're on the journey. And then I'll tend to just check that all the skylights are locked. I've got one over at the back, We've got one in the toilet area as well, making sure that that's all locked up and tight. It's not going to move anywhere. And then I tend to just double check that the bed itself as well, all the straps on the bed, which are down here, which hold the bed in place, it's not going anywhere. So it's double checking that everything in the van is fitting well, all the blinds are all operating and working okay, and you've done all those visual checks just to make sure before you go on your journey you're not going to have any problems. Also checking underneath the bonnet as well. I'll tend to have a little check of the oil level and making sure that the oil on the dipstick is fine. So the dipstick on the Fiat is just down here, so again I'll just check and making sure that it's showing the right level on there, which it should be. Yeah, it looks like we're in between the two lines there, we can see it's fine. So we know our oil's okay, we know that we've got enough water as well, and we're good to go. So that's all my pre-checks done on the van, so I'll just going to close everything up, and then obviously we will hit the road and we'll get on our journey, and then we'll see you when we get down to our off-grid site. So where we're off to today is Tower Hill Barns, which is a wedding venue, so we're going to be performing there. Well, a couple of miles up the road, so we're going to be staying in a pub stop, so it's going to be like a pub car park, so it is off-grid. There's no toilet facilities, nothing like that. All he asked us to do if we're staying at the pub, and a lot of these pubs are the same, you can ring up. There is an app that you can get called Britstop, which will allow you to go to various different pubs. But this one I just found on Park for Night. But in lots of cases, you can tend to ring up. I rang up the day before, asked them if they got some availability, and all I ask you to do is support the pub, go in there, have a meal, have a drink. So, and that's what I'm going to do. That we're going to be going to is a place called the Sun Trevor Bar. But first of all, we're going to head over to the Tower Hill Barns for the wedding, get set up there. Once we've done the wedding, we're going to head over to our pub stop. So our first destination is Tower Hill Barns, which is just behind me. So before we go over to our motorhome pub stopover a little bit later on, which is in an area called Trevor, which is around about 3 or 4 miles away from here, we have a wedding to do. So we're going to head over to the barn. Now that used to be an 18th century cattle farm, and then they converted it in 2012 to the current wedding venue as we see now. So let's go and head over and see, have a little check out of the barn and see what it's all about. So we're in the wedding barn, and this is where they're going to be having the wedding meal today, and a little bit later on as well. So they'll be doing a daytime meal here, and then they'll flip this room around a little bit later on, and that'll be where the band will be setting up later on, and the DJ. What's great about this particular venue is you've got the option of being able to have your ceremony here as well. So how great is this setting? It's gorgeous, isn't it? So what we've got set up here is they're actually going to get married outside, and it's all undercover as well. What a great idea. We just set up the our desk and a few things for the singing waiters, and this is our staff only entrance, so we're going to go in and we're going to do our singing waiters. So come with us, let's go.
Tower Hill Barns, are you ready to party? I see everyone now on your feet for the bride and groom. On your feet. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's a boy. I know I'm gonna be the man who's shivering. Are we ready? 2, 3, 4. Well, I will walk 500 miles and I will walk 500 more. Just to be that man who walks looking hard for you. He's got lost down there. He's outside. Is there all the it's carnage. When I go out, keep grooving the room. I know I'm gonna be the man you come to love with you. Come on! Big finish! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you!
As well, wedding that wasn't it? What do you think about that, mate?
I tell you what, nothing can compare to the buzz when you've just done the waiters and you've got the big prank and you get a bit nervous before you do it. It goes mental. Everyone's on the chairs dancing. We just had 180 people doing conga. Like, it's just mad.
So just approaching our destination, which is the Sun Trevor bar, and we're going to set up pitch. We're going to have a little look and set up pitch, find out where we're going. Okay, so arrived at the Sun Trevor pub. What a great location this is, and you know what, all the pitches, they've only got enough space for I think 3 or 4 vans they can get in here, but it's super level. I mean, you know, for a free park up, super level, nice and quiet, and I mean, look at the view that I've got an even fantastic, amazing view, which is behind me here. You see, and we've even got the canal. So we're going to take a little walk down the canal now. This is a great spot. So we're taking a little walk just along the canal, which is just absolutely lovely. And the pub is just up at the top, so it's not far from the pub. And you've got this great little walk which takes you, it must take you a good half mile, maybe more than that, I'm not too sure. And then you've got, great if you've got dogs, I should imagine. So if you're a bit of a dog walker and you're looking for somewhere that you can walk the dogs as well, then this is great because it's a nice little run here. But like I said, yeah, there's the pub there. You can probably just see it behind me there, the white building. Okay, so back from that wedding. It was a great wedding, so we're going to head over to the pub now and we're going to have a bite to eat. Salty, decent meal. I recommend it. So that was a mega meal down in the pub. So we're going to head back to the camper van and then settle in for the night, and then up first thing in the morning back home. That's pretty much it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you liked this video, then thank you very much, and also if you're following us, then thank you very much, and if not, then please give us a like, please give us a follow, and please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, thank you very much.